Surprise, surprise, after 4 decades, DeLorean is back, this time as an astonishing EV. Welcome to Electric Exclusive. We'll be looking at the all-new DeLorean EV. DeLorean released new details and images of its Alpha5 EV. The company's owners hope this gull-winged electric vehicle will resurrect the long-defunct brand and possibly set the direction for more electric models. The new DeLorean is keeping the couple silhouette intact while raising the utility level a tad with additional seating. Staying true to the classic 80s-era DeLorean, known for its appearance in Back to the Future, the Alpha5 comes with those iconic gull-winged doors and can reach 60 miles per hour in about 2.99 seconds, or 88 miles per hour in 4.35 seconds if you're curious. It's worth noting the company behind the Alpha5 isn't actually the same one behind the original DeLorean vehicles. The original DeLorean Motor Company, a maker of the time-traveling DMC-12 that starred in the 1980s Back to the Future franchise, was found in Detroit in 1975 by John DeLorean, the Pontiac designer behind the GTO and Firebird. It went defunct 7 years later. It had faced a series of high-profile financial and legal troubles, culminating in founder John DeLorean's involvement in an FBI sting operation that ended with him arrested on charges for conspiracy to obtain and distribute 55 pounds of cocaine. He was acquitted of all charges in 1984, though he later went on trial for fraud and was forced to pay millions of dollars to creditors and lawyers in the ensuing decades. An unrelated Texas-based company which supplies replacement parts to the owners of vintage DeLorean vehicles snapped up the rights to the DeLorean brand. The company is being headed by CEO Jules DeVries, previously a high-ranking official at Tesla and Karma. He had taken the helm from Brit Stephen Wine, who had run DeLorean as an aftermarket support service since 1995, when he acquired the brand rights following the high-profile demise of the original company. Compared to what was around, it was an incredible-looking car, Wine recalled to Popular Mechanics in 2019. But there was no factory support, and I was going to have to figure everything out. It was part business, part ego. Spearheading the rebirth is a striking battery-electric coupe with rakish sports car-style proportions, far removed from the wedge-shaped silhouette and compact footprint of the 1981 DeLorean DMC. The Alpha5 could come with a 100 kilowatt-hour battery, offering an estimated 300 miles of range and a top speed of 155 miles per hour. DeLorean indicates these specs will belong to the base performance model, while the Alpha5 does hint at its heritage to its gas-powered predecessor with gull-winged doors. This should offer far better rear seat access than a traditional coupe. The gull-winged doors may be just some magic for the concept car rather than production intent. The silhouette is sleek with interesting sculpting on the fenders and hood. The company claims it is highly aerodynamic, which can help the range and noise. The wheels are pushed far out to the corners. The combination of being an electric car without the need for a driveline tunneling running through the interior and having a relatively long wheelbase promises to bolster cabin space. The rear pillar and black roof remind one of the upcoming Nissan Z. When viewed from the rear, those fenders and horizontal lighting look like pure supercar. Very striking. The Alpha5 is expecting to have a length of 4,995 millimeters, a width of 2,044 millimeters, and a height of 1,370 millimeters. It will also have a wheelbase of 2,300 millimeters. The EV was designed by Ital Design, which also helped shape the original DMC-12 4 decades ago. Looking at the released images, the Alpha5 gains a pair of infotainment screens and a frunk, but loses the flux capacitor. The interior view shows seating for 4 and a minimalistic cabin. The flat-bottom steering wheel has a relatively wide digital instrument cluster behind it, and the center console has a vertical display of acting as the infotainment system. Interestingly, unlike most concept cars and vehicles meant for the future, the Alpha5 does not ditch conventional ORVMs for cameras. According to the company's website, the car will rely upon a mix of artificial support and human control. This seemed to suggest there will be some kind of advanced driver assistance system, but it's unclear what the specific features will be. Pricing is expected to be in the $175,000 range. The game and entertainment website IGN reports, it's a big leap forward from 1981 when Motor Trend says you could get an original DeLorean for about $25,000. The concept car was first teased back in February. Is said to premiere at the prestigious California car show Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance on August 14, with limited production set to begin in 2024. However, drivers can sign up for a chance to see the car 24 hours before the general public. The Alpha5 is a representation of the past 40 years of DeLorean, Chief Marketing Officer Troy Beats said in a statement. There was this enormous responsibility to make sure we honored the history of the DeLorean brand, but an even greater responsibility in curating its future. I think we did both with the Alpha5. And while the Alpha5 is being advertised as a comeback, he stressed that the brand never really left. According to Juice DeVries, the CEO of DeLorean Motor Company, DeLorean lived on in online games like Forza and Need for Speed and Asphalt, Playmobil, Hot Wheels, he said. The brand never left the market. A lot of the ideas that DeLorean worked with in the early 80s is actually something that we're developing further, he told Texas Public Radio. While DeLoreans are not the only cars with Falcon-style doors, because classics such as the Mercedes 300 SL Coupe or a modern competitor like Tesla Model X also share this cool feature. It is by far the most famous. This means that DeLorean could have timed the market well by releasing this new model in the wake of a growing market for EVs being put out by all manufacturers. It will be entering a crowded and competitive field. With a name like DeLorean, however, the Alpha5 might catch some lightning in a bottle, and for the company's sake, propel the brand into the future of electric vehicles. If Alpha5 EV becomes the comeback they needed, what's next for the company? According to the CEO, Juice DeVries, the car will be sold in a limited run of 88 and a nod to the movie. Those will be suitable only for use on tracks and not for the road. The next batch of vehicles will be built with the goal of legal use on roadways, he added. The company is also setting its sights even further, with DeVries saying its roster will eventually expand to include a sports coupe, a sedan, and a premium SUV. Next up will be a sports coupe powered by a V8 engine, followed by a battery electric saloon, and finally, and most importantly, with DeLorean's brand building plan in mind, a premium sports SUV with a hydrogen-fueled powertrain. We need an SUV for volume, DeVries said. The business case is an SUV that will be launched very quickly after we launch our Halo car. But we need that Halo car first, he explained. It is an ambitious plan that would effectively require developing 3 separate platforms with completely different engineering needs. But first is the matter of funding. Autocar said that DeLorean had completed its initial seed round of funding, and the next one could possibly be tied to an IPO. We will be a public company, DeVries said. We have to be. Building cars isn't cheap, and you need lots of money to make it happen. Despite the fact that the brand is well known and entrenched in pop culture, DeLorean Motors is effectively creating an entirely new car and company. As the company famously discovered 4 decades ago, this is difficult. What happens next with this resurrected car company and the new car could be more exciting than a 4th Back to the Future film. This brings us to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.